Hello, I'm Jasser. Welcome to Face to Face, our weekly show in which our editor-in-chief Michał Broniatowski gives his insight on stories that mattered most this week, and of course from a Central European perspective. Michał, welcome.
Thank you very much.
So the one of the top stories on our portal this week was about a giant medieval knight discovered in the Gdańsk port city in northern Poland, the birthplace of Solidarity trade union. I don't know if he belonged to Solidarity, but I'm pretty sure he would support their cause. Do you want to comment on that, or do you want to move to some
you tell me
21st century events?
Do we have any proof of his age?
Good question. I have no idea.
Okay, good.
But it was a good summer story. You agree?
Yes.
All right. Well, I started joking, but actually this is to offset the next topic we want to discuss, which is actually quite serious. And this is about what's been happening in Ukraine, where for the first time since Russia's latest invasion in 2022, the Ukrainians took to the streets to protest against President Zelensky. And this has to do with his attempts to curtail the powers of anti-corruption bodies. Protests, European leaders stepped in, criticizing Zelensky and warning him that he's jeopardizing Ukraine's European future. What is it about? Doesn't he have more serious problems?
Well, it looks like he doesn't have more serious problems, and that's why he did something and then he stepped back, but not completely. I will talk about it in a second. But in general, we can say that the main victim of this week's events and this maneuvering is the reputation and credibility of Zelensky's administration and of himself. Because what happened on June 22nd, when the parliament passed the amendment, last minute, if not last second amendments to a new law. These amendments included taking away independence of two key institutions which are designed to watch corruption on high level.
Not only watch, but combat.
Combat, yes. Well, the one which was called NABU, or the National Anti-Corruption Bureau of Ukraine. It's to watch and seek crimes, and another one is the Office of Special Anti-Corruption Prosecutor, whose job is to prosecute and send to the courts. So both of these bodies were created early after 2014, the revolution of Maidan and Russian initial aggression, and when Ukraine started seriously moving towards the European Union. And it was one of the conditions presented by Brussels.
But sometimes it's being presented as, the Europeans imposed these institutions on Ukraine. But, the problem of corruption in Ukraine is endemic. It's being mentioned domestically.
That's why this was imposed. The first head of this NABU was a foreigner, a Georgian politician. It's and when you suddenly.
So what happened? Why did Zelensky do it? I mean, clearly he himself is not interested in promoting corruption.
Of course not. But, immediately people started talking about the possibility of him trying to protect in this way some of his cronies from...
cronies or his inner circle, as they say in polite society?
In his circle, people in his circle, like, for example, unemployed in the administration advisors. To the first person. Even if
in other words, you're saying that...
I am not saying that. I only want to say that even if it was not the case, at least it was commented in such a way. That's why this big, wound on credibility of Kyiv's administration. And
one thing that for me is interesting is that the Americans have said nothing.
I don't know why. Maybe they are busy with their own business.
Because one theory is that, Zelensky is now thinking, oh, the Americans don't care about these things. They want deals. They got the minerals deal. We have other deals on arms and everything else. So I don't need to worry too much about this.
Well, he didn't worry about the US, but he heavily miscalculated
the European reaction.
First of all, reaction of the public, of Ukrainians who suddenly, for the first time since the war started, the fully fledged war started in 3.5 years ago, they took to streets in many cities of Ukraine, mostly young women.
Interesting. Why?
Because men are on the front.
Okay.
Those politically active, so to say.
Right. You know what caught my attention? That there is this highly popular in Ukraine head of the intelligence services, Mr. Budanov. And on the day when they cut down on these two institutions, he issued this cryptic message on social media saying, a divided Ukraine cannot win this war. I mean, I'm paraphrasing. And for a moment, some people thought, oh, he's backing the president. But I actually think he was giving a warning to the president.
I think it was, you are right. But on the other hand, at the same time, this disputed law, amendment to law, introduced two new rules. One.
Which one? The one that he proposed now?
No. The one on the 21st.
The initial one.
On July 22nd, a part of this change of subordination of NABU and so-called SAP, these prosecutors.
Two agencies.
They also introduced two changes to the law. One was it's penal code. One allows Prosecutor General to move prosecutors without around or even remove them if they, for example, don't agree to be placed in new location. So he gives actually the Prosecutor General a right to
stop investigations, effectively.
For example, yes, this is one thing. And another one, which is much more important, Article 233, which added a little line saying that prior to the judge's order, services have right to enter.
Security services or
security
law
services, yes, and prosecutor have right to enter a flat in order to seek to quickly seek evidence in cases, for example, of terrorism, which is a typical accusation of people who are suspect for the government.
But what do you make of this argument that Zelensky and others, his supporters, had put forward, namely that the Russian intelligence services have infiltrated these institutions?
This is it may be the case, but on the other hand, this is a very good explanation always. But
to blame the Russians for everything.
Yeah, but even if it is the case, eliminate the spies that you identify.
Don't weaken the institutions.
Exactly. It doesn't help that.
So now Zelensky is backtracking. Is he going to...
Well, he is not backtracking. He backtracked on NABU and SAP, but didn't backtrack on the rule that without judge's order, police can enter any flat of any government's critic.
Okay.
And it is there. And then, you do something huge, everybody concentrates on that, and then it appears that through the back door they introduce laws which are giving much more uncontrolled power to...
Well, if it's already being noticed, then it's not through the back door. So do you expect these protests to continue in Kiev, or do you think he's going to be able to...
I don't know. It depends on dynamics and if people are really aware, in general.
But I guess the bottom line is that he has damaged his credibility.
This is the main problem. This is the main problem. He threw under the bus the credibility of Ukraine. In a moment when Russians are pressing on the front, they are about to catch the crucial town of Pokrovsk, opening the way to Dnipro, and this is a very badly chosen moment.
Okay, right. On the day that Polish Foreign Minister Radosław Sikorski made that comment that these decisions by Zelensky are pushing back their chances of entering the European Union, Minister Sikorski himself was promoted to Deputy Prime Minister in a cabinet reshuffle announced by Prime Minister Donald Tusk. Our chief political correspondent, Aaron Daman, interviewed Minister Sikorski on that day, together with EU Commissioner for Enlargement, Madame Kos, and he asked him if this promotion means Mr. Sikorski is getting ready to replace Mr. Tusk as Prime Minister, to which he got this answer.
So maybe you want to be Prime Minister one day?
Ha ha. You're trying to destroy me.
So, Mr. Sikorski playing it safe, but in reality his position is going to strengthen inside the cabinet. This is because, the security and defense portfolio is very important at the moment. That needs no explanation. But overall, this reshuffle is about regaining initiative after the government candidate lost the presidential election in June. The new president is coming in, Mr. Nawrocki from the opposition right-wing party, and he's already promising to be a pain for the government. So a period of difficult cohabitation. Is this reshuffle good enough to address this issue?
I don't think it was designed at addressing actually this issue, the fact that they still have in the presidential palace somebody who is very hard in cooperation. What they wanted to do is to put house in order after this disastrous June 1st election, in which almost certain candidate of the ruling coalition, Mr. Trzaskowski, lost to Mr. Nawrocki, who is supported by Law and Justice. The thing about Mr. Nawrocki is that he's even to the right from Law and Justice. We can judge it from people he is going to employ in presidential palace. His advisors are really far right, and he's also saying
President Trump likes him.
Yes, among others.
He even tweeted 2 months after the election that he just won, and he also ran a clip, I think, on his platform through social, a clip showing some demonstration against migrants. I mean, interesting. But obviously, Mr. Trump likes Mr. Nawrocki.
Of course,
so be careful what you say.
Okay, I will be careful. But Mr. Nawrocki already happened to say that Tusk himself is the worst Polish Prime Minister after collapse of communism over 30 years ago. So I think we will see a lot of tension between the two.
But what do you make of President Trump's endorsement of Mr. Nawrocki 2 months after the election and just before he's inaugurated? We know that there is no love lost between the two Donalds, I mean Donald Tusk and Donald Trump, because in the past they argued and Mr. Tusk said a couple of unflattering things about Mr. Trump before. But I mean, many European politicians said unpleasant things about Mr. Trump, and Mr. Trump said many unpleasant things about European politicians. So I don't think that matters so much. But politically speaking, why is the United States choosing a side in Poland?
It's not the first time for Trump to support Nawrocki. He received him in.
Yeah, I know, but why? Why are they feeding into this polarization in Poland?
He's fitting MAGA ideals.
Okay.
He's nationalist. He's against migration. He's being what he is. He's disrupting this liberal equilibrium in mainstream equilibrium in Europe, which is to the liking of Mr. President of the United States.
What does it mean for Poland? What consequences can this have?
I don't know if it is very bad for Poland, but because at least, following the untold conflict between the two Donalds, there is still an open line of contact between Washington and Warsaw.
Right. So it can, in the end, be beneficial to
Maybe.
have a better channel of communication. So, any other significant developments in this reshuffle by Mr. Tusk of his cabinet? Something that is worth mentioning here?
There are people who will be tougher against former rulers of Poland, the Law and Justice, because in Poland there's a big talk about punishing people who committed, if not crimes, at least they...
Abuses of power.
Abuses of power, yes. And the former Justice Minister and Prosecutor General, Mr. Bodnar, was considered as a person... Too soft and even if...
Slow.
And slow. And I think that even if Tusk had nothing against it, because, it's better to work according to rule of law, the atmosphere, the
voters, the supporters
the public wants faster action, and so he nominated Mr. Jurek, an active
former judge. Mm-hmm.
Well, he's not former. He's now former.
He's a former judge.
But before that, he was an active judge who was persecuted heavily under the rule of law and justice. And he will definitely be faster in cleaning.
So Mr. Tusk is taking a leaf from Mr. Trump's book, in a sense, that he's nominating a fighter.
Yes.
Right. Okay. So will this extend the life of this four-party coalition that Mr. Tusk now commands until the parliamentary term ends in 2027, or are we going to have early elections, do you think?
The conflicts between minor members of the coalition of Mr. Tusk, will be quieter now, as everybody, they have instinct of survival. Nobody destroys the government, which guarantees them a place in parliament. Because if we have early elections, these people wouldn't find a place in new parliament. So.
Right. So your bet is that the coalition will survive until a parliament's term ends. Finally, I wanted to ask you about the what seems to be the final end of the trade war between the Trump administration and the Europeans and the Japanese. We had a deal with the Japanese setting import levies at 15%, and now it seems Europeans will also agree to tariffs on 15% on European imports into the United States. So love again, and the unity of the West restored, and
before love there was a quarrel.
That happens, as we all know.
And when he imposed these tariffs first in April, the European Union said not even 10%, it is unacceptable. Then came the deal with Great Britain when London agreed for 10%, and Europe started thinking, well, maybe 10% is okay. Now it appears that 15% is okay. Mm-hmm.
Well, I guess 15% is better than 30% that Trump.
Yes, but we have both governments of France and Germany who are against, and especially Germany, against these agreement on these tariffs. They are in belligerent.
Are they? You think they're going to?
We don't know. It's first of all, let's wait for Mr. Trump.
Okay. Thank you very much, Michał.
Thank you.
Thank you for watching Face to Face. See you next week, and stay on with TVP Well for more news and analysis.